Commander Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his ship. The ship was called UES Liberty. It was a big human warship that floated in the dark space between stars. Jake was angry, very angry. He had just watched a message from the Galactic Council. The message made him want to punch something. The Galactic Council ruled over many worlds and many alien races. They thought they were better than humans. They treated humans like children who did not know anything. For 3 long years, humans had done everything the Council asked. They followed every rule. They said yes sir and no sir to aliens who looked down on them. Jake watched the alien on the screen talk about humans like they were animals. The alien had blue skin and 4 eyes. It spoke in a voice that sounded like it was talking to a pet. The human colonies in the Kepler system must move, the alien said. We need those worlds for more important things. The humans will go to new worlds that we choose for them. Amy Rodriguez sat at the communications desk. She was a young woman with dark hair and smart eyes. She turned to look at Jake. Sir, they are not even letting us vote on this. They are moving us like we are cattle. Jake's hands turned into fists. He wanted to hit something very badly. The Kepler system had 5 human colonies. 2 million humans lived there. They had built cities and farms. They had made homes for their families. Now the aliens wanted to take it all away. Why do they want our worlds? Jake asked. Amy looked at her computer screen. The Kepler worlds have rare metals that the Zephyrian Empire wants. They think it is easier to move us than to trade with us fairly. The Zephyrians were one of the most powerful alien races in the Council. They had big ships and strong weapons. They thought they owned the galaxy. Most other alien races were afraid of them. Jake remembered when humans first met aliens. Everyone on Earth was so excited. They thought joining the Galactic Council would be wonderful. They thought humans would learn amazing things and make friends across the stars. But it did not work out that way. The aliens smiled and welcomed humans. Then they gave humans all the worst jobs. Humans had to work in dangerous mines. Humans had to fight in wars that other aliens started. Humans had to fix broken things that other aliens did not want to touch. The aliens said humans were new and had to prove themselves. But Jake knew the truth. The aliens thought humans were stupid and weak. They used humans for hard work and gave them nothing good in return. Get me Admiral Chen on Earth, Jake told Amy. Use the secret channel. Amy's fingers moved fast on her keyboard. The secret channel was something humans built without telling the aliens. All human ships and colonies could talk to each other without aliens listening. It took months to build and the aliens never found out about it. The screen showed Admiral Lisa Chen. She was on Earth in the human military headquarters. Chen was a small woman, but she had eyes like steel. She looked tired and angry. Jake, I saw the message too, Chen said. How are your people taking the news? They are mad as hell, Admiral. 3 years of being pushed around and now this. They want to move our families like we are things they own. Chen nodded. I have been getting calls from every human colony and ship. Everyone is saying the same thing. We are tired of being treated like dirt. Jake looked around his bridge. His crew was listening. There was Lieutenant Ben Davis at the weapons station. There was Sergeant Carol White at the scanner desk. There was Engineer Pete Murphy checking the ship systems. They were all good people. They all had families in the colonies that might be moved. What are our options, Admiral? Jake asked. Chen was quiet for a long moment. Then she spoke in a low voice. Jake, what if I told you we don't have to follow their orders anymore? What if we could show them that pushing humans around is a big mistake? Jake felt his heart beat faster. What do you mean? For 3 years we have been patient. We followed their rules. We did what they said. But they keep treating us worse and worse. Maybe it is time to stop being patient. Amy looked up from her computer. Admiral, are you talking about fighting back? Chen's face was serious. I am talking about showing the galaxy what humans can do when we stop being nice. The aliens think they know us. They think we are weak because we have been peaceful. They are about to learn how wrong they are. Jake felt something he had not felt in years. Hope. Real hope that things could change. "What do you need from us, Admiral?" he asked. "I need you to get every human ship and station ready. I need everyone to be prepared for something big. And, Jake?" "Yes, ma'am?" "I need you to remember that we are not just fighting for the Kepler colonies. We are fighting for every human who is tired of being treated like they do not matter." Jake looked at his crew again. They were all watching him. He could see they were ready to fight for their people. "We understand, Admiral. The Liberty and her crew are ready." Chen smiled for the first time. "Good, because tomorrow the galaxy is going to learn what happens when you push humans too far. Tomorrow is the day we stop being patient." The message ended. Jake turned to his crew. They were all looking at him with hope and determination in their eyes. "You heard the Admiral," Jake said. "Get this ship ready for action. Call all human ships in this sector. Tell them Admiral Chen will have orders soon." As his crew started working, Jake looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, aliens were making plans to push humans around again. They thought humans would just accept it like they always did. They were wrong. Very wrong. The day of human patience was ending, and the galaxy was about to learn what that meant. Admiral Lisa Chen sat in her office on Earth. The room was full of computer screens. Each screen showed a different human commander from across the galaxy. There were captains on mining ships. There were colonists on faraway planets. There were soldiers on space stations. For the first time ever, all humans were talking together at the same time. Chen looked at all the faces on her screens. These were her people. They had been pushed around for too long. Today that would change. "Everyone can hear me?" Chen asked. Voices came from speakers around the room. "Yes, Admiral. We hear you. Ready for orders." Chen took a deep breath. "Good. Today we take back our dignity. Today we show the galaxy that humans are not pets to be moved around." Captain Ben Hayes appeared on one screen. He commanded a mining station in the asteroid belt. The station was called Hercules. It pulled valuable metals from floating rocks in space. "Admiral, my crews have been watching the alien ships," Ben said. "The Zephyrians are moving their big warships toward the Kepler system. They plan to force our people to leave." Colonel Maria Santos spoke from another screen. She led the defense of New Texas colony. The colony was on the edge of human space. It was always getting attacked by pirates and hostile aliens. "Ma'am, I have been studying how the aliens fight," Maria said. "They think their big ships and fancy weapons make them unbeatable. They never fought anyone who fights smart instead of fair." Chen smiled. This was what she wanted to hear. "Tell me more, Maria." "The aliens follow rules when they fight. They line up their ships and shoot at each other like it is a game. They never expect tricks or surprises. They think being honorable is more important than winning." Dr. Alex Turner joined the conversation from his lab on Mars. Alex studied alien biology and psychology. He spent years learning how different alien races thought and acted. "Admiral, I have important information," Alex said. "Each alien race in the Council has weaknesses they do not know about. They have been comfortable and safe for so long that they forgot how to deal with real problems." Chen leaned forward. "What kind of weaknesses?" Alex pulled up charts and pictures on his screen. "The Zephyrians depend too much on their computer systems. If those systems get confused, the Zephyrians cannot think straight. The crystalline collective aliens are like living crystals. Certain sound waves make them sick. The ethereal consortium aliens use their minds to control machines. But if you overload their minds with too much information, they shut down." Chen felt excitement growing in her chest. "Alex, how do you know all this?" "For 3 years, humans have been working on alien ships and stations. We fix their machines. We clean their buildings. We take care of their computers. They think we are too stupid to understand what we are doing. But we have been learning and watching and taking notes." "Captain," Steve Williams spoke up from his cargo ship. "Admiral, my ship carries supplies between different worlds. I have been inside alien ships dozens of times. They never check what humans bring on board. They trust us because they think we are harmless." Chen was starting to see the shape of a plan. "Steve, what if you were carrying something other than normal cargo?" "I have been thinking the same thing, ma'am. My ship could carry special devices that the aliens would never expect. Lieutenant Sarah Kim commanded a communications station near the galactic core. This was the center of alien space where the most important aliens lived. Admiral, I have been monitoring alien communications for months, Sarah said. They never change their codes because they think no one else is smart enough to break them. But human computers figured out their codes weeks ago. Chen stood up and walked around her desk. The plan was becoming clear in her mind. It was bold and dangerous, but it could work. Listen carefully, everyone, Chen said. The aliens think they know us. They think we are weak because we have been following their rules. They are about to learn that being patient is not the same as being weak. Engineer Pete Murphy spoke from a repair station in orbit around Jupiter. Admiral, what do you need us to do? Pete, I need you and every other human engineer to think about all the alien systems you have worked on. I need to know every weakness and every backdoor. Chen walked back to her desk and looked at all the screens. Every human was watching her with attention. Here is what we are going to do, Chen said. We are going to show the aliens what humans are really capable of. We have been fixing their machines and following their orders, but we have also been learning their secrets. Captain Hayes raised his hand. Admiral, are we talking about war? Chen shook her head. No, Ben. War is what aliens do. They line up their ships and shoot until someone gives up. We are going to do something the aliens have never seen before. We are going to fight like humans. Maria Santos smiled. Guerrilla, warfare, hit-and-run tactics, use their own systems against them. Exactly, Chen said. For 3 years we have been inside their ships, their stations, their cities. We know how everything works. We know where they are weak, and they have no idea what we are capable of. Dr. Turner looked excited. Admiral, we could disable their entire fleet without firing a shot. We could make their own technology turn against them. Chen nodded. That is exactly what we are going to do, but first we need to disappear. What do you mean? Asked Steve Williams. I mean we are going to go dark. Every human ship, station, and colony is going to cut communications with the aliens. We are going to use our secret channels to coordinate. The aliens will think we are having technical problems. Sarah Kim understood immediately. While they think our communications are broken, we will actually be more connected than ever before. Right. And while they are trying to figure out what is wrong with our systems, we will be preparing our demonstration. Pete Murphy looked worried. Admiral, if this goes wrong, the aliens could destroy us all. Chen's face became serious. Pete, if we do nothing, they will keep treating us like slaves. They will move us around whenever they want. They will give us the dangerous jobs and keep all the good things for themselves. Our children will grow up thinking that humans are second-class citizens. She looked at every face on every screen. But if we show them what humans can really do, everything changes. We get respect. We get equality. We get to choose our own future. Captain Hayes spoke for everyone. Admiral, we are with you. What are your orders? Chen felt pride fill her chest. These were her people. They were brave and smart and tired of being pushed around. Phase 1 starts now. All human facilities go dark in exactly 1 hour. Switch to secret communications only. Phase 2 begins tomorrow morning. Every human who has ever worked on an alien system needs to remember everything they learned. She paused and looked at each commander. And everyone needs to understand something. Tomorrow, we stop being the galaxy's servants. Tomorrow, we become the galaxy's teachers. We are going to teach them what happens when you underestimate humans. The screens went dark one by one as human commanders returned to their ships and stations. Chen sat alone in her office, but she did not feel alone. Across the galaxy, millions of humans were getting ready to change history. The aliens thought. They knew what humans were like. Tomorrow, they would learn the truth. The operation started at exactly 8 in the morning, Galactic Standard Time. Across 17 different star systems, something impossible happened. Every single human ship, station, and colony went completely silent at the same moment. On the Council homeworld of Centrax Prime, Ambassador Vexathera was speaking to the Galactic Assembly. She was a Zephyrian with blue skin and 4 golden eyes. She felt very proud as she talked about moving the human colonies. The relocation of human settlements from the Kepler system will begin tomorrow, she announced to the thousands of aliens in the Great Assembly Hall. This proves that younger species must accept guidance from their betters. That was when the Etched report started coming in. A young alien aide ran up to Vexithera with a communication device in his hands. "Ambassador, we are getting strange reports from all human territories," the aide whispered. "All their communications have stopped working." Vexithera smiled. This was perfect news. "You see," she said loudly to the assembly, "the humans cannot even maintain basic communications across their small territories. This proves they need our guidance." The alien leaders in the assembly hall made sounds of agreement. They nodded their heads and felt superior to the primitive humans. But something else was happening that the aliens could not see. All the human facilities had switched to a secret quantum communication network. This network was invisible to alien sensors. For the first time since joining the galaxy, humans could talk to each other without aliens listening. In the Kepler system, Captain Steve Williams was getting his cargo ship ready for the most important mission of his life. The ship was called New Frontier. It looked like a normal cargo ship that carried supplies between different worlds. But the New Frontier was not normal anymore. Human engineers had spent weeks making secret changes to the ship. They added special devices that the aliens could not detect. The cargo hold was full of tiny machines called nanites. These nanites were very special. Dr. Alex Turner had designed them to work specifically on Zephyrian brain technology. The Zephyrians used computer implants in their heads to make them smarter and faster. But these implants could also be used against them. Steve looked at his crew. There was Lieutenant Danny Foster at the pilot station. There was Engineer Nancy Cooper checking the ship systems. There was Communications Officer Rick Barnes monitoring alien radio signals. "Everyone ready?" Steve asked. "Ready, Captain," they all said together. Steve opened a channel to the approaching Zephyrian fleet. The fleet had dozens of huge warships. Each ship was 3 kilometers long and had enough weapons to destroy a planet. "Zephyrian fleet, this is Captain Williams of the human cargo ship New Frontier," Steve said in a humble voice. "We are ready to help with the evacuation of human colonies as ordered." The voice that answered was cold and commanding. "Human vessel, approach our flagship for processing. You will follow all our instructions exactly." "Yes, sir." "Following instructions exactly," Steve replied. But he winked at his crew. The New Frontier moved slowly toward the Zephyrian flagship. The huge alien ship was shaped like a crystal mountain, floating in space. It had thousands of weapons pointing in every direction. As Steve's ship got closer, alien sensors scanned it completely. The sensors found cargo containers, life support systems, and normal ship equipment. They did not find the hidden nanite dispensers because human engineers had made them look like part of the air recycling system. "Human ship, you may dock at Cargo Bay 7, the alien commander said. "Prepare for inspection." Steve guided his ship into the alien cargo bay. It was a huge space that could hold 50 human ships. Alien soldiers in battle armor were waiting for them. The soldiers had energy weapons and scanning devices. "Beginning docking procedures," Steve announced. But as his ship connected to the alien station, hidden dispensers started releasing nanites into the air system. The nanites were too small to see. They moved through the air vents of the alien ship like invisible smoke. When they reached the Zephyrian crew members, they began to interfere with their brain implants. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The alien soldiers boarded Steve's ship and started their inspection. They looked through the cargo containers and checked the crew's identification papers. But then the nanites reached the bridge of the alien flagship. Commander Zarthek was reviewing the evacuation plans when his vision started to blur. The computer implant in his brain was getting confused signals. Colors became too bright, sounds became too loud, his balance started to fail. "Something is wrong," he said to his officers. But his officers were having the same problems. All across the Zephyrian fleet, the same thing was happening. The proud alien warriors who thought they were superior to humans found themselves unable to function. Their own advanced technology had become a weakness. Similar operations were happening in other parts of the galaxy. Human technician Lisa Park was working at a crystalline collective trade station. She had been repairing their computers for 2 years. The crystalline aliens looked like living diamonds and thought they were the smartest beings in the galaxy. But Lisa had discovered something interesting about them. They used sound waves to communicate with their computers. If those sound waves got mixed up, the aliens became very sick. While the aliens were distracted by reports of human communication failures, Lisa activated a device she had hidden in their main computer. The device started producing the exact sound frequencies that would make crystalline aliens feel terrible. Within minutes, every crystalline alien on the station was lying on the floor, too sick to move. On the council homeworld, human maintenance, worker Pete Johnson was cleaning the government buildings like he did every day. The aliens barely noticed him. They thought cleaning was work for inferior species. But Pete had been mapping the council's security systems for 2 years. He knew where every camera was located. He knew how every lock worked. He knew which computers controlled what systems. When the moment came, Pete activated a virus he had planted in the council's computer network months earlier. The virus was designed to spread through every connected system on the planet. Transportation systems shut down. Communication networks failed. Defense systems turned off. Emergency services stopped working. The most secure planet in the galaxy suddenly became helpless. Back in the Kepler system, the Zephyrian fleet was in chaos. Ship after ship reported that their crews were unable to function. The nanites had spread through their air systems and affected every Zephyrian on every ship. Captain Williams watched from his ship as the mighty alien fleet drifted helplessly through space. Ships that could destroy worlds were now floating like dead metal in the darkness. Phase 1 complete, Steve reported on the secret human network. Zephyrian fleet neutralized. Reports came in from across the galaxy. The crystalline trade networks were shut down. The ethereal consortium's information systems were overloaded. Every major alien power was experiencing simultaneous system failures. But the most shocking report came from Centrax Prime itself. "This is Pete Johnson reporting from the Council homeworld," the maintenance worker said over the secret channel. "All government systems are down. All defense systems are offline. Transportation is stopped. The capital of galactic civilization cannot function." Admiral Chen listened to the reports from her command center on Earth. Everything was working perfectly. The aliens who had treated humans like servants were learning what humans could really do. "Excellent work, everyone," Chen broadcast to all human forces. Phase 2 begins now. Show them the message. Across the galaxy, human technicians activated the second part of their plan. Every communication system that aliens used suddenly came back online. But instead of alien voices, there was something else. Admiral Chen's face appeared on every screen in known space. Her voice spoke from every speaker. Her message reached every being in the galaxy. The aliens had spent 3 years thinking they knew what humans were capable of. Now they were about to learn the truth. The demonstration was complete. The galaxy would never be the same. Admiral Lisa Chen's face appeared on every screen in the galaxy. Her voice came from every speaker. Even aliens who had never seen a human before were now looking at her. She sat in her command center on Earth, but her image was being broadcast to billions of beings across thousands of worlds. The same aliens who had ignored humans or treated them like servants were now forced to listen. "People of the galaxy," Chen began. Her voice was calm and clear. "My name is Admiral Lisa Chen of the Human Defense Force. For 3 years, humans have been patient members of your galactic community. Today, that patience ends." On Centrax Prime, Ambassador Vexithara stared at the screen in shock. Around her, the Galactic Assembly was in chaos. Alien leaders were shouting and demanding answers, but their own communication systems would not obey them. Only the human admiral's message could be heard. "This is impossible," Vexithara whispered. "How are they broadcasting on our secure channels?" The answer came from Chen herself, as if she had heard the question. "You are wondering how we are speaking to you through your own systems. The answer is simple. For 3 years, you gave humans the jobs you did not want. We cleaned your buildings. We fixed your machines. We maintained your computers. You thought this work was beneath you, but while we worked, we learned. Chen's image changed to show technical diagrams and system maps. Every major piece of galactic infrastructure was displayed in detail. Communication networks, defense grids, transportation systems, power plants, everything the aliens thought was secret and secure. Every system in the galaxy has been touched by human hands, Chen continued. Your servants became your students, and now your students have become your teachers. The technical display showed exactly how humans had infiltrated alien systems. Maintenance workers had installed hidden devices. Computer technicians had created secret access codes. Engineers had built backdoors that aliens never noticed. Dr. Alex Turner's voice joined the broadcast from his laboratory on Mars. We studied each of your species for 3 years. We learned your weaknesses. We understood your psychology. You saw us as primitive, so you never suspected we were analyzing you. The screen showed detailed information about every major alien race. The Zephyrians' dependence on brain implants, the crystalline collective sensitivity to sound frequencies, the ethereal consortium's vulnerability to information overload. We could have used this knowledge to harm you, Chen said. We could have destroyed your fleets, collapsed your governments, and taken control of your worlds. But that is not what humans want. On the Zephyrian flagship in the Kepler system, Commander Zarthek was slowly recovering from the nanite attack. His vision was clearing and he could think again, but his ship was still powerless, drifting in space. What do they want? He asked aloud. Chen answered as if she had heard him too. We want what we have always wanted. Respect, equality, the right to determine our own future. We want an end to being treated like children who must accept whatever you decide for us. Admiral's tone became more serious. You planned to move 2 million humans from their homes because you wanted their worlds. You did not ask us. You did not negotiate with us. You simply announced that we would obey. This ends now. Captain Steve Williams spoke from his cargo ship, still docked inside the disabled Zephyrian flagship. Commander Zarthek, this is Captain Williams. I know you can hear me. Your weapons are offline, but my ship is fully operational. I could destroy your ship from the inside right now, but I will not. Do you know why? The alien commander's voice was weak, but he managed to respond. Why human? Because we are not like you. We do not solve problems by destroying things. We solve problems by understanding them and finding better ways. Chen's broadcast continued. Her voice reached every corner of the galaxy. The systems we have disabled can be restored. The fleets we have neutralized can be reactivated. The infrastructure we have controlled can be returned to you. But first, you must understand what we are offering. The screen changed to show a new document. It was written in the languages of every major alien race. The Terran Accords, Chen announced. A new agreement for how humans will participate in galactic civilization. The document was not what the aliens expected. It was not a list of demands or threats. It was a proposal for cooperation. We offer our knowledge and abilities to help solve the galaxy's problems, Chen explained. Human adaptability, creativity, and determination can benefit everyone. But we will no longer accept being treated as second-class citizens. Lieutenant Sarah Kim's voice joined the broadcast from her communication station. We have analyzed every major crisis the Council has faced in the past 50 years. In each case, traditional solutions failed because alien thinking is too rigid. Human approaches could have solved these problems faster and with less cost. Examples appeared on screens throughout the galaxy. Trade disputes that lasted decades because aliens refused to compromise. Military conflicts that continued because both sides followed predictable strategies. Resource shortages that persisted because aliens could not think of new solutions. Humans think differently, Chen said. We adapt, we improvise. We find ways around problems that seem impossible. This is what we offer to the galactic community. The broadcast showed footage of humans working throughout the galaxy, engineers solving technical problems that alien experts had given up on, Diplomats negotiating peace between alien groups that had been fighting for centuries. Scientists making discoveries that alien researchers had missed. But we will only share these gifts as equals, Chen stated firmly. The days of humans accepting whatever scraps you throw to us are over. On Centrax Prime, the alien leaders were starting to understand what had happened. The humans had not just demonstrated their ability to disable alien systems. They had shown that they understood galactic civilization better than the aliens who created it. Council leader Mordun, an ancient being who had ruled for 1,000 years, finally spoke. What exactly are you proposing, Admiral Chen? Chen's answer was clear and direct. Equal representation on the Galactic Council, an end to discriminatory policies, the right for humans to keep their colonies and choose their own destiny, and recognition that technological advancement does not make one species superior to another. The Admiral paused and looked directly into the camera. Her eyes seemed to be looking at every being in the galaxy. We are not asking for special treatment. We are asking for fairness. We have proven that we can be your equals. The question is whether you are wise enough to accept us as such. Ambassador Vexathara found her voice again. And if we refuse? Chen's smile was not threatening, but it was very confident. Ambassador, your fleets are disabled. Your communications are under our control. Your most secure systems have been compromised. You are in no position to refuse anything. The screen changed to show human forces throughout the galaxy. Ships that had seemed helpless were now revealed to be fully armed and operational. Colonies that appeared defenseless were shown to have sophisticated defense systems. Workers who seemed harmless were displayed coordinating complex operations. But we do not want to rule through fear, Chen continued. We want to build a better galaxy together. The choice is yours. You can accept us as partners and benefit from what we offer, or you can continue to see us as enemies and face the consequences. Dr. Turner appeared on screen again. We have prepared detailed analyses of how human-alien cooperation could solve the galaxy's major challenges. Food shortages, energy crises, territorial disputes. All of these problems become manageable when human creativity is combined with alien technology and resources. The broadcast was nearing its end. Chen's final words would echo through galactic history for centuries to come. Today you learned what humans can do when we stop being patient. Tomorrow you can learn what we can accomplish when we work together as equals. The choice is yours. The screens went dark. The galaxy fell silent. And in that silence, every being in known space understood that everything had changed forever. The age of human patience was over. The age of human partnership was about to begin. 6 months after Patience Day, the galaxy was a very different place. The day humans stopped being patient had become the most important date in galactic history. Everything that happened after was measured from that moment. Ambassador Vexathara sat across a negotiation table from Commander Jake Morrison. 6 months ago, she had thought humans were primitive creatures who should obey their betters. Now she was asking for their help. Commander Morrison, the Zephyrian Empire needs human assistance with the Rigel sector uprising, she said carefully. She was trying very hard to sound respectful instead of commanding. Jake leaned back in his chair and smiled. Ambassador, 6 months ago you wanted to move our colonies because you needed our worlds. Now you want our help because your traditional methods are not working. What changed? Vexathara's 4 golden eyes looked down at the table. We learned that being advanced in technology does not make us advanced in solving problems. The Rigel sector uprising was exactly the kind of crisis that had always frustrated the Galactic Council. 3 different alien races were fighting over mining rights to an asteroid field. Each race claimed the asteroids belonged to them. The fighting had been going on for 2 years. The Council had tried everything they usually did. They sent warships to enforce peace, but the fighting continued. They held formal negotiations, but no one would compromise. They passed laws declaring the area neutral, but all 3 races ignored the laws. How would humans approach this problem? Vexathara asked. Jake smiled. We already have. Captain Hayes has been working with all 3 races for the past month. Would you like to see the results? The screen on the wall showed the Rigel asteroid field, but instead of ships fighting each other, there were ships working together. Aliens from all three races were cooperating to build something new. A joint mining station, Jake explained. Captain Hayes convinced them that fighting over the asteroids was stupid when they could share the profits from mining them together. Each race gets what they need and they all make more money than they could fighting alone. Vexathera stared at the screen. But the legal rights to the territory were settled by practical agreements instead of ancient laws, Jake finished. Humans do not worry about who owns what. We worry about how to make things work for everyone. This was happening all across the galaxy. Problems that had lasted for decades were being solved by humans who thought about them differently. On the trade world of Nexus Station, human diplomat Sarah Park had ended a commercial war between the Crystalline Collective and the Metallic Brotherhood. The two alien races had been fighting over trade routes for 50 years. Sarah's solution was simple. Instead of fighting over who could use which routes, why not build new routes that both races could use? Human engineering teams worked with both alien groups to create hyperspace tunnels that made travel faster and cheaper for everyone. Dr. Alex Turner had become the most important scientist in the galaxy. His research into alien psychology was helping different races understand each other better. Wars that had lasted centuries were ending because Dr. Turner taught aliens how to communicate in ways their enemies could understand. The key, Dr. Turner explained to a gathering of alien scientists, is that every race thinks their way of doing things is the only right way. But there are many right ways. Humans learned this because we had to. Our own planet had many different groups of humans who thought differently. Engineer Pete Murphy was no longer cleaning alien buildings. He was designing new cities where different alien races could live together comfortably. His designs took into account that some aliens needed high gravity, while others needed low gravity. Some needed bright light, while others preferred darkness. Building for diversity makes everything stronger, Pete said as he showed plans for a new colony world. When different types of beings work together, they can solve problems that none of them could handle alone. The Galactic Council itself had changed completely. Humans now had equal voting rights with all other races. But more importantly, the Council had learned to use human methods for solving problems. Instead of formal debates that could last for years, the Council now used human-style brainstorming sessions. Instead of rigid laws that never changed, they created flexible agreements that could be adjusted when needed. Council leader Morden, who was over 1,000 years old, admitted that he was learning new things every day. Humans have taught us that being ancient does not make us wise. Wisdom comes from being willing to try new approaches. Captain Steve Williams had become something like a galactic hero. His cargo ship New Frontier was now equipped with the latest technology from a dozen different alien races, but he still did the same job, carrying supplies where they were needed. The difference is that now I'm asked to help instead of being ordered around, Steve said. When people treat you with respect, you want to do your best work for them. The Sior, human colonies in the Kepler system, had never been moved. Instead, they had become centers of cooperation, where humans and aliens worked together on new projects. The rare metals that the Zephyrians wanted were being mined by joint human-alien teams. With the profits shared fairly, Admiral Chen had been promoted to Galactic Defense Coordinator. Her job was to handle crises that normal military forces could not solve. She commanded mixed fleets of human and alien ships that used human tactics combined with alien technology. The galaxy is becoming safer because we work together instead of trying to dominate each other, Chen said during a news interview. Problems that seemed impossible are becoming manageable when different species combine their strengths. But perhaps the most important change was in how young aliens and humans saw each other. Children from different races were growing up together on mixed colonies. They were learning each other's languages and customs. They were becoming friends instead of enemies. On New Terra Colony, human children played with Zephyrian children, crystalline youngsters, and ethereal youth. They did not see each other as different species. They just saw each other as friends. This is the real victory of Patience Day, Dr. Turner observed. Not just that humans gained equality, but that the whole galaxy learned to see differences as strengths instead of weaknesses. The phrase human stubborn had entered galactic language, but not as an insult. When aliens faced a problem that seemed impossible to solve, they would say, "We need some human stubborn," meaning they needed the kind of determination that refuses to give up. Human negotiators were called to settle disputes between alien races. Human engineers were asked to design solutions to technical problems. Human scientists were invited to join research projects that had been stalled for years. We went from being the galaxy's servants to being the galaxy's problem solvers, Lieutenant Amy Rodriguez said. She was now Captain Rodriguez, commanding her own ship in the joint human-alien exploration fleet. As Jake Morrison finished his meeting with Ambassador Vex Thara, he looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there, human ships were working alongside alien vessels to explore new worlds. Human colonies were thriving as equal members of the galactic community. Human children were growing up knowing they could become anything they wanted to be. The galaxy is a better place when everyone is treated fairly, he said to himself. Ambassador Vex Thara heard him and nodded. Commander, I must ask you something. Do you think humans will ever forgive us for how we treated you before Patience Day? Jake thought about the question carefully. Ambassador, humans do not hold grudges when people learn from their mistakes. You learned. The whole galaxy learned. That is what matters. He stood up and extended his hand to her. The past is over. Let us work together to build a better future. Vex Thara took his hand and shook it firmly. It was a human gesture, but it felt right. Outside the window, ships from dozens of different races were working together to build a new space station. The station would be a symbol of the new galaxy, a place where any being could come regardless of their species or background. The day humans lost patience had become the day the galaxy found hope. And that hope was growing stronger every day. The age of cooperation had begun, and it was more wonderful than anyone had ever imagined possible.